to my channel. Tame your mind, body, and your money. So today's episode, we're going to talk about, oh my goodness, it's the mindset, and it's kind of like all over, right? It's the mindset, it's health and fitness, it is money matters. And it's what I call the danger of overestimating the feel-good factor. Yes, it's almost like misconceptions about how we approach rewarding ourselves. So you know how sometimes maybe we've achieved a great milestone, or we've just gotten that promotion at work, or something positive has just happened in our lives that's unexpected, like a miracle, and there's that feel-good factor, right? We're feeling really, really great about ourselves. But sometimes what happens is what we then do, or actions that we take after that feel-good factor, can then sometimes sabotage or jeopardize the things that caused us to feel good to begin with. I know. All right, let me break it down. Let me give you 2 examples to drive home the point. So the first one is diet and exercise. So you know how a lot of us, and it's just human nature, right? We are prone to overestimating the amount of calories we burn working out. So we go to the gym, we hit the gym, we have our watch on, jump on the elliptical, maybe do some strength training, and then maybe after like an hour, so you look at it, you're like, hey, I've burnt 1,000 calories. And you're just feeling really good and really great about yourself. And then you're telling yourself, you're like, oh my goodness, I need to reward myself. All of this hard work. So you go home, prepare this, sumptuous meal, and you devour this sumptuous meal that you just prepared, right? But then when you really take time to really calculate how much you just devoured, you have just devoured 2 times, or sometimes even 3 times the amount of calories you just burned. In other words, because you feel good about working out, and because you just told yourself that, hey, you just burned 1,000 calories busting your behind in the gym, you then come back home and say, you know what, I'm going to reward myself and eat this sumptuous meal. But what then happens is you then overstep it and you then go to the other end of the spectrum. You then overdo it, now overeat, and before you know it, you've just devoured 2x or 3 times the calories that you just burned. In other words, that action alone has negated the benefits of why you went to the gym. So you see how, right, we overestimated that feel-good factor, and then we went and did something that has now negated it. So, and if you keep up with this, right, so let's say in a day, and that's just with that lunch, right, you will still eat dinner, you will still snack. At the end of the day, if you look at it, you've burnt 1,000 calories, but then you've devoured maybe 5,000 extra calories. And if you keep up that habit, hey, before you know it, maybe end of the month, you're like, yeah, let me weigh myself. You step on the scale, you're like, how is it that I have gained 10 pounds? But I'm supposed to be losing now. I'm supposed to be on the straight and narrow. I'm supposed to be exercising. I'm supposed to be watching what I eat. Yes, you're supposed to be doing all that, but guess what? Because of this feel-good factor, you have rewarded yourself for working out, and you have now overeaten. Doesn't work. Does not work. Okay, we need to reorient ourselves about the rewards about rewarding ourselves when we feel good. So in this case, instead of overeating, maybe what we then decide to do is, hey, you know what? The way to think about it, especially with diet and exercises, the way I think about it and what helps me, I think about how much time and effort it took me to burn that 1,000 calories in the gym. And guess what? That will keep me set and on the straight and narrow for the rest of the day. I will watch what I eat. I will make sure I eat wholesome food. I will make sure I don't snack anyhow. If I need to snack, it has to be on healthy snacks, so fruits, just things like that. And I definitely will not come and now splurge on a big meal that will now negate everything. So think about it the other way. Once you reward yourself that way, where you just watch what you eat, you watch how you snack, you eat the healthy stuff in moderation and all that, guess what? On a net basis, maybe you've devoured 300 less calories for the day. And that will start to add up. So you do it for a whole week, you've now devoured 2,100 calories, less calories for the week. By the time you step on the scale, guess what? Maybe you've lost 2 pounds. Or 3 pounds. That is the reward. That is the ultimate reward. Okay? Alright, so that's one, diet and exercise. The second one is lifestyle and saving. So again, you have a main gig, your 9 to 5, and then you have a side gig, right? The side gig is maybe bringing you steady every month 5K. That's just steady, just based on what you do. Your main gig, on the other hand, you excelled fantastically that year, and you got a raise and a promotion, right? So let's say you got a 20K raise, and then you got a 10K bonus on top, right? And then instead of you to now just say, hey, okay, I have this rate and all that. You then come back home. Yes, you celebrate maybe for that evening, you know, you celebrate, you know, a win and all that. But then the next day you wake up and you're like, hey, you know what? I feel like I'm upgrading my car. Nothing's wrong with your car. You're still, that your Honda Pilot is still working nicely and all of that. But you just feel like, hey, you know what? You've stepped up. I guess I stepped up the status. You know, at least the race is a step on the status. Let me go and step up my car too. So you go to the Mercedes-Benz dealership and you drive out with a brand new Mercedes-Benz. Guess what? Your the car note that you were paying on the Honda Pilot, which was $0 because you bought it outright, now you've converted $0 car note a month to like $500 car note a month because you're just driven away with this brand new. Then you don't even stop there. It's bad enough. You don't even stop there. You know, so you know what? Yeah, this studio that I'm staying in, you know, this one bedroom. No, now come on, now I've reached new levels. You understand? We got to have new levels now. You know, so let me go for a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom apartment. Guess what? And then your rent bumps up by maybe like $2,000. So, and then that you, of course, you won't stop there now. You'll be like, that's fancy, nice designer suit that I'll be eyeing. Yes, let me go and get it. I have the money now, you know. I might as well add to it, you know, designer shoes now. I might as well, you know. Oh, that watch. Oh my goodness, yes. My 3 watches that I have, no, they no longer. No, I need a new one. You go, maybe I don't know. You just take money and say, you know, I need a Rolex. I've always loved the Rolex. You should just buy all these main things. Let's just say that shopping spree, you spent 10K. Have you now seen how you are now poor? Even though you're earning more, even though you've gotten the salary bump, even though you got that bonus, but if you look at it month over month, so now your new monthly expenses have gone up by $2,500, which is the car and then the extra rent. Then, and $2,500 in a year, so times 12, that's 30K. Then you add to that, let's say the 10K that you spent on shopping spree, that is $40,000, right? You then compare that to the $30,000 bump, so the 20K bump in your salary plus this 10K bonus. Have you already seen how, so on 2 levels, just doing that comparison, have you already seen how you're already poorer? You've just spent 40K. Meanwhile, you only earn 30K extra. You spend 40K extra, you only earn 30K extra. And if we even look, then let's even take a step further and add the effect of taxes. That 30K extra, so the extra 20K bump in salary, that's just before tax. If you're in the 25% tax bracket, it means you're really bringing home 15. Yes, it means you're only bringing home 15K. Your bonus, 10K, it means you're only bringing home 75. So 15 plus 75, 22.5. So really, you're only bringing home extra 22,500, but you have gone and burnt $40,000. So you are in the hole 17,500. Hey, let us not, the danger of overestimating the feel good factor. Don't let it creep in. Okay, don't let it creep in. Instead, let's flip things on their head. Okay, with this lifestyle one, you just tell yourself, you know what, the reward, my reward for working hard and getting this bump is I am going to save that money and I'm going to save it towards buying a rental property. And once I get that rental property, I put it on the market, I put a tenant in it, I start getting rental income and the property will start to appreciate in value. Then I enjoy the fruits of that money multiplying in the future. Delayed gratification, right? I'm not going to enjoy it right now. I have earned it. I'm not going to enjoy it right now. I'm going to enjoy it in the future. When it will multiply. That's how we should be thinking about it, right? This is how I think about it these days. Oh, I have collected cents I should have collected in my 20s and even, you know, 30s, mid 30s. It is now in my 40s I'm collecting it, but it's never too late. That is how we should be thinking about rewarding ourselves, right? It's delayed gratification. So instead of spending that money, let me go and put it in investments. Let me go and look at my stock portfolio. Maybe I go and do a dollar cost averaging, buy more stocks of the stocks I already own, just, you know, and let it multiply, compound over time. Then I can spend the money at a later time. Compounding, delayed gratification. This is how you get a step towards financial independence. So in a different level of consciousness to be able to get that sense, okay? To reach financial independence faster, or to reach our goal of, you know, looking slim, looking fit and trim faster, okay? So let's let go of these things. We can do it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe or share and like. I really appreciate it. Until the next time, you stay safe and have a super sparkly one.